Los Angeles, late 1977, a city already struggling with crime, now faced a new terror: young women disappearing, only to be found dead, posed and strangled on secluded hillsides near the sprawling freeways of Southern California. Their murderer, originally thought to be a single predator, would come to be known by the chilling media moniker, the Hillside Strangler. Between October 16, 1977 and February 16, 1978, at least 10 women and girls were abducted, sexually assaulted, tortured and strangled, before their bodies were disposed on hills overlooking Los Angeles. These murders revealed a terrifying pattern. Victims were tied, raped and killed. Many were dumped, nude, on hillsides. The placements near roads and freeways caused shock across the city. The media dubbed the unknown killer the Hillside Strangler. But this wasn't the work of one man. It was two. The culprits were cousins, Kenneth Alessio Bianchi and Angelo Buono Jr. Together they ravaged Los Angeles, sometimes experimenting with shocking methods, including electrocution, lethal injections and carbon monoxide. But most frequently they used ropes to strangle. Here are the known Hillside Strangler victims, and when they were killed: Yolanda Washington, aged 19, on 17th October. Judith Lynn Miller, aged 15, on 31st October 1977. Lissa Caston, aged 21, on 05 November 1977. Jane King, aged 28, on 09 November 1977. Dolores Cepeda, aged 12, on 13th November 1977. Sonia Johnson, aged 14, on 13th November 1977. Christina Veckler, aged 20, on 20th November 1977. Lauren Wagner, aged 18, on 28th November 1977. Kimberly Martin, aged 17, on 13th December 1977. Cindy Lee Hudspeth, aged 20, on 16th of February 1978. Every victim was abducted under false pretenses, often with the killers posing as off-duty or undercover police officers to gain trust. Bianchi and Buono didn't just abduct, they deceived. They flashed fake badges, wore convincing uniforms, and lulled victims into believing they were safe, before driving them to secluded locations or Buono's own upholstery shop in Glendale. Once isolated, victims were tortured, a horrifying escalation that included ligature strangulation, electrical shock, even injections, all before leaving their bodies where they knew they would be found. The attacks weren't just crimes, they became a moral panic. Young women stayed indoors. Parents warned daughters not to accept rides, and fear spread through every neighborhood in Los Angeles. What made this case especially terrifying was how ordinary it seemed. The killers looked like everyday men. As bodies mounted, law enforcement formed a concerted task force involving the LAPD, Glendale Police, and Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department to investigate the seemingly linked homicides. Composite sketches were created. Crime scene investigators compared ligature marks. But despite mounting evidence of a serial killer, no arrests were made during the killings. The break didn't come from Los Angeles. It came 200 miles north in Bellingham, Washington. In January 1979, Bianchi, now living there, murdered two more women, Karen Mandick and Diane Wilder, whom he lured under false pretenses. Forensic investigators collected crucial evidence, hairs, fibers, and inconsistencies that tied Bianchi to these murders and eventually to the Hillside Strangler cases. Law enforcement began to piece together the link and focus on Bianchi, and then to Buono. On January 12, 1979, Kenneth Bianchi was arrested in Bellingham for the Washington murders, charges that ultimately led him back to Los Angeles. Under pressure and psychological evaluation, Bianchi initially tried to plead an insanity defense, claiming multiple personality disorder, a claim quickly dismissed by psychiatrists. Faced with the death penalty, Bianchi reversed course and agreed to plead guilty and testify against Buono. With Bianchi's cooperation, investigators moved in, and on October 22, 1979, Angelo Buono Jr. was arrested at his Glendale upholstery shop. Buono was charged with more than 24 felonies, including murder, rape, and sodomy. Bianchi's guilty plea came swiftly. He admitted to 5 of the Los Angeles murders and the 2 in Washington. Buono's trial in Los Angeles, one of the longest and most expensive in California history, began soon after. Over 400 witnesses testified against him. Prosecutors detailed the cruelty, the manipulation, and the calculated, horrific pattern of his crimes. Despite his not guilty plea, the jury found Buono guilty on 9 counts of murder. Kenneth Bianchi received multiple life sentences with the possibility of parole, including 2 consecutive life terms for the Washington crimes and additional terms for the California murders. Angelo Buono Jr. was sentenced to life imprisonment without the possibility of parole. Buono died in prison on September 21, 2002, at age 67. Bianchi remains incarcerated, denied parole repeatedly, most recently in 2025, and remains in prison in Washington state. Though the killers preyed on many, there were survivors, most notably Sabra Patterson. She says she was lured by Buono and Bianchi, but escaped and later testified at Buono's trial. Her courage to speak out helped prosecutors build their case and brought closure to a chapter of terror. Other women who were close to the case, including Catherine Law Baker, also bore witness to their depravity. They intended to abduct her, but released her when she revealed her identity. The emotional toll on victims' families cannot be overstated. Mothers, fathers, and siblings left without daughters, sisters, friends. Their lives were forever changed by senseless violence. The communities they terrorized were gripped with fear. Young women were terrified to walk alone at night. Distrust of strangers and an epidemic of caution lingered. The story of the Hillside Stranglers remains one of the most disturbing chapters in American criminal history. A tale of manipulation, brutality, and tragedy. But it also stands as a testament to the persistence of investigators, the bravery of survivors, and the resilience of families who turned horror into resolve. If this story kept you watching until the end, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe for more real stories. Follow us on TikTok and Instagram for exclusive clips and updates. Until next time, stay curious and stay safe.